Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. So I'm going to go ahead and state this right quick about the sad situation of a lot of these clergymen, even from my faith community, making the terrible decision that they're no longer, many of them, are no longer going to perform marriage ceremonies if the parties don't agree to marry in front of the state. Now, I know a lot of pastors have always been doing this. They may not know any better. Pastor McDowell has challenged that idea, and he has said, no, we don't marry in front of the state over here. We don't involve the state in this business. And I agree with him. So the question then is, why are a lot of these imams doing this when they didn't do this before? And they love to say, well, you know, it protects the women. And I believed that the first time I got married. And it turns out that not making a lot of money might have been one of the better things for me. Not because poverty is good for me, but because it meant that I was not going to be on the hook financially when everything was over. Because I look back on it, I realized things probably would have still been over, although they would have been over much more quickly. No, I take that back. That wasn't the better thing. It actually would have been better if I'd made it. Then I would have discovered the disobedience sooner. You know, I'm going to tell you all that sad as it is, we got these imams that are taking these young men in the name of protecting women and walking these young men into the traps from which they claim to be protecting women. We got simp imams in our community, and this is not a part of the faith. Once something is oppressive to someone else, it is not a part of the faith. It's not a command. Penalties for obeying a law are not the ones that come from Allah. Demons, human and non alike, are the ones that want you to be punished because you obeyed Allah. That's the end of it. I want you all to keep this in mind and understand that. So when these imams are telling these young men, you must marry in front of the state, then what you young men should say is, in that case, then I'm going to meet with my attorney. Ma'am, I suggest, lady I'm trying to marry, I suggest you meet with yours too. Because after what this imam just said, now we got to make sure that we keep the government out of our pockets and everything else as much as possible, especially in the event that you decide I'm not worth it. Now, that's going to be an unpleasant conversation until the day that these imams cannot find any young men in the communities that are feeding them and paying their salaries. We're in trouble. These imams need to know that the minute they do this, there will no longer be young men in the communities that will support them. The young men will not give anything to maintain the masajid to which we will go to pray, but we will give nothing at all. Let the women do it. You're protecting them and not us. Let them take care of this mosque anyway. Let them do it. See how long they can. To the Christian men listening, maybe this would work in your case too. You can tell us. But I know we need to do this in the Muslim community. Absolutely. Because, you see, we have in our faith certain things that the boundaries are very clear cut for us. It takes a little reading to know them. And then there are those who have studied certain boundaries as fields of expertise, and they can tell us more. But the information is available somewhere. And we're going to need to go ahead and start applying this and just leave these imams to go and find other areas of work. Eventually, the masajid and the boards of trustees that employ such imams, simp imams that I've already addressed in previous recordings from years ago, learn that they will not collect anything. Once an imam does this, then they will turn around and have to start finding imams that won't. When they say this once and nobody else comes in to get married after that, and brothers ain't giving money anymore, and they got to get up and beg, and when they start talking about brothers, listen, we need you all, and then brothers get up and walk out just because they said that. When saying this to one couple leads to them losing the support of the men right off the bat, and they can never get it back, the word will begin to get around. We're going to need that. That is going to be a necessity. I hate to say it this way, but it will be. Because frankly, they're not going to stop on their own. They've never been ready to stop on their own. They're going to need to lose financially as well. And when they start struggling to pay the water bill and the light bill, and I think brothers should use these things as much as possible up until they start saying, listen, we're about to close down. Brothers, listen, and brothers get up. And as soon as they say that, brothers get up and walk out, even if it's before the Jummah khutbah. Get out, walk out, have a Jummah khutbah at another location. And they say, listen, brothers, talk to us. What's going on? You say, we can't afford to get married through these imams here because they say we got to go in front of the state. We are not going to involve the government in our business, especially in a legal climate like this. Because you are never going to turn around and say to these sisters, you're the ones whose rights are being protected. Why don't you go out there and be the breadwinners and then marry these brothers? You'll never say that. So don't turn around and tell us that we need to go and put the government in our business and open ourselves up to a situation in which we lose all rights as husbands because we will get divorced. But then we still keep having to pay where we can no longer play. Thank you for listening. I mean it when I say I hope this helps. Black heart, black mind, black out, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power just because she doesn't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Thank you for flying with me on Jet Black Airways, where jet black is also a verb. Keep jetting black with me till the wings and the wheels fall off. Justice forever.